Hi all, welcome to the session. More this side. So in this session, we'll be seeing how to integrate ServiceNow using SOAP Web Services, or rather communicate to ServiceNow using SOAP Web Services. In the previous session, we have seen how we can communicate to ServiceNow or integrate ServiceNow using REST Web Services. Now let's see how we can achieve the same task using SOAP. So to start off with the basic syntax, just like we had an endpoint for a REST API, to connect to SOAP Web Services, the endpoint format will be something similar to this: instance.servicenow.com slash table name dot to question mark hyphen visitor. So this is kind of a syntax or the sample endpoint to connect to ServiceNow table. So if you have any queries on table or which table to use, you can obviously go to ServiceNow and find all the tables inside ServiceNow inside table and columns. For example, if we want to know the details of incident table, and just search for incident table and we can see all the column names inside incident table. So for example, we can check short description and we can see the attributes which relate to short description, like the maximum length or is it read only, stuffs like that. If you have further, if we need to know further about this table, we can always check the schema map, which shows us the referenced tables and extended tables related to this parent table. So incident table is connected to multiple other tables like company, services, assignment groups, etc. So to fetch an incident or to connect to incident table, the WSDL format will be instance slash incident dot to question mark WSDL. So one easy way or one trick to get the methods inside this would be copy paste this and paste it in a browser. So we'll get something like this, which is an XML file associated with that table. So you might have noticed that similar to what we have for REST web services, like different HTTP methods, put, post, get, etc. In SOAP also we have different methods like get records to get all the records. We have update record to similar to HTTP put in REST. We have something called insert to create a new incident, which is similar to HTTP post in REST method. And you might have also noticed two parameters here, max occurs and min occurs. So there is another cheat code like min occurs represents whether this column is mandatory or not. For example, to update an incident, as we all know that sysid is mandatory field. So if I go inside update method, I can see that sysid is mandatory field and min occurs is 1. So this is how we can identify that if this is a mandatory field for this method or not. Now let's see how we can make use of this and connect with ServiceNow. So similar to Postman, which we have used to integrate REST API with ServiceNow, we have a tool like SOAP UI. So SOAP UI helps us to create test suites, or SOAP UI helps in testing SOAP web services. So this is the latest interface of SOAP UI. It's open source. So we can create a new SOAP project. So let us copy paste the incident WSDL. So I clicked on SOAP and incident WSDL. Let's make the project name as incident. Click on OK. We'll get the username and password to a ServiceNow instance, and it will load the WSDL file and it will automatically generate multiple options here. Now let's see how we can fetch or we can query incident table from ServiceNow. So let's go back to ServiceNow. Let's see incident. So let's go to our incident table and let's So suppose if I want to fetch the details of this incident with this number, so what we can do is we can go to get records, right click and create a new request, or we can make use of the existing request. So unlike REST API, in SOAP web services we have to send the XML body along, or XML envelope along with the endpoint to retrieve data. So this is a sample XML envelope which SOAP UI automatically generates from the method. Now to fetch the incident from number, what we can do is we can just search for the number tag, replace the question mark with the filter feed or filter query, and just to beautify the XML I'll delete all other parameters. So this will be the sample XML body which will be passed. We can also give the authentication to connect to the web services. We will be giving basic authentication here, and on click of submit, it ideally should give us the details of this particular incident. So all the details of this incident has been fetched. We can get the XML format, or we can even get the raw format. Similarly, to update an incident, what we can do is we can create a new request, and let's update this incident. So the current short description for this incident is unable to access the share folder. Let's update this a short description. So to update an incident, as we know that SysID is a mandatory field, let me copy this. So we can go to update, go to this field, similar to number, we'll update the SysID here with the SysID of that particular incident, and let's change the short description as testing update from SOAP UI. Let me delete all other request parameters. Again, we have to add the, we can actually do it as a one-time activity, but let's type it again. And on click of submit, it should ideally update the ticket with this short description. Ticket ID is updated. Let's copy this and let's see if the same is updated. So we are again sending a get request, and you can see that the short description is updated. Let's go back to ServiceNow and see if this really works. Let me refresh. And you can see the short description is updated. Similarly, we can make use of the insert method to create an incident. So same parameter will be there. Let's create an incident with the short description as, so I'm replacing the question mark with creating new request from SOAP UI. Delete all other parameters. You can actually give other parameters like assignment group or work notes or stuff like that. Suppose if we want to give a new assignment group, or we want to automatically assign this ticket to a new group, we can do that. We can fetch the assignment group from this request or this incident. I think the incident is not assigned. Assignment group is empty. So let's first assign it to some group, and then we can take it from that. So now if I fetch the incident again, I should get the assignment group. So we can just pass the same here while creating a new ticket, so that the new ticket will also be assigned to database group. Adding authorization. And on click of submit, a new incident will be created in seconds. So in response, we'll get the sysID and the number of the new incident. Let's go and check if the incident is created. And the new incident 0007 is created with the short description and assigned to the assignment group which we just assigned. So like this, we can connect ServiceNow using SOAP. We can create, update, or retrieve any table from ServiceNow using SOAP Web Services. We can make use of SOAP UI for testing. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye.